Hey there, beloved Ascension pioneers. Today I made a video and I mentioned a certain earthquake that happened here in Italy. And because I watched a certain video yesterday about these events unfolding, some researchers, because there's so many right now who are exploring what's happening, deciphering those codes and things that, extraterrestrial beings, the beings of other dimensions are leaving here for us, through different types of communication, such as, I don't know, for instance, you have crop circles and there are many other things, available to us, many means of communication. So also because there was this fact mentioned when I read this article that I was given about this earthquake, the previous one also in Italy, now there was another one in the same region. What it was mentioned here is that they were really shallow, as opposing to what is really happening there. It's supposed to be like a weird event and a weird earthquake, and so many people then make a conclusion that this is supposed to be due to HARP. So, um, drawing all, connecting all these dots, I felt really guided to ask a question to my, spirit connection, because I feel it is so important right now in this era of communication, at the same time, miscommunication, misinformation, because there's so many researchers who are, discovering certain fractions of the whole equation, which are very good, very plausible, very viable, very good. But at the same time, when you change a certain aspect that is not within the truth anymore, for instance, if you say HARP, but it's not HARP at all, because this is just how basic, conclusions I draw forward because of the fear mongering right now that is very present on Earth. So if you change this particle in the equation, the whole equation changes, and you have to know this. So right now in this era of information, because we're kind of in the era of information technologies and all of that, because we're so it's so easy for us to reach for certain information that we want, or that wants to be informed to all these different means of communication into our beings. So because of that, and because there's so much information available, we have to be discerning beings who will really decipher the meanings as to what is and what is not, and really develop our inner bullshit detectors, as some people like to call them, and really become sovereign beings who will know what is truth and what is not. Because many people have gathered different facts that, facts are good. There are things that are happening that are within a certain nature, that are within a certain frame, and certain explorers are very good. They're awesome. They're bringing forth amazing discoveries right here on the planet. But there are certain people who have good facts, for instance, but what they make of it, how they interpret it, will vary, because it won't always be within the truth, because their logic will still be too much dominant in this equation. So the more that this logic is present, the less, the information will be authentic, or the more this material will seem to be distorted in a way. And those who are connected to themselves will feel this. For instance, for me, I'm very tuned, I'm very connected. I will smell when something is off, when something is weird, what just doesn't resonate with me. I'll either feel very, nothing new. I just won't resonate with the material, because when I do, I have immense goosebumps. I really feel this is it, because what I've noticed also is people like to focus on the negative, on the disasters, on the things like that. It's not about that. No one is really asked to think in terms of something good happening. People have become so trapped in this dogma of something will happen. The apocalypse is coming, but the apocalypse actually means the great unveiling, the great revealing. What's happening right now? Everything is coming up to surface. So I wrote this automatic writing. It's very short, and it's having to do with this, what's happening, how to decipher, what is of what is resonating with our hearts, because right now we're bombarded with information. And what I was watching yesterday, for me, I'm able to watch that because I can discern what is right and what is not, because I will know what is really coming from the law of one and what is coming from certain human interpretation. Because there are things, there are messages being presented to humanity, but the guidance that I have received today is, for instance, in comparison to what I've been watching yesterday in that video, which was, deciphering what certain cultures or ancients or certain beings from other dimensions, other realms are leaving here for us. I got this guidance that no being who is giving us these messages are giving us the messages of what is happening, what is going to happen on Earth. They're presenting us the messages of truth, of oneness, of principles of creation, things like that, that we will connect to our inner realms. But no one is giving us the outcome, what is happening, because even they don't know. And I think Dolores Cannon speaks about something similar. She says, they all say we don't know what's going to happen because everything has been created along the way, and it is all, this plan of great mystery within the divine plan of perfection. So they're actually guiding us to better connect, to better find out the truth of our nature, the nature of us as spirit beings in this form and all life that are sharing form with us. So this is the article that I wrote. The question was, dear spirit, what about these earthquakes that are occurring lately? I'm referring to the ones in Italy that I felt as well. And also I wanted to know about other things, these data that were coming forth, that I noticed them and seen them on, through certain videos. These earthquakes are in fact of natural origin. Those who mention HARP or other manipulative techniques and sciences do not fully understand the natural processes, these cycles within creation which are dealing with the dimensional shifts. They're mainly looking at the research They are mainly looking at the research until now, nothing advanced, meaning they're not thinking outside the box, considering the influences of these cosmic cycles and the impacts of these changes that can indeed bring new occurrences, those that cannot be easily predicted and expected. They're referring to the old and outdated resources and databases in the era of the unknown and unpredictable. Only those connected ones who are beyond logic and rational thinking can understand these things, because they feel their way through. Thinking is of the old, feeling is of the new. It is similar with what you have been following about the crop circles and the theories about our sun and this particular solar system, which is what I was watching yesterday. Several researchers may have a lot of their facts checked, are in tune with many explanations and have uncovered much, but they're still connecting the dots with logic and through the filter of their minds. This is where it gets complicated. So their entire research can collapse due to this. The whole picture does not match the true mosaic, that which is within the divine plan. So a lot of these new data and research becomes distorted once the old rational scientific approach takes place. Much is written, much is said, because everything is under research now, but until the awareness is not high enough, the true knowing cannot come, just cannot. The path of the spirit can give true answers that are within faith and higher knowing, not the intellect. And the path of the spirit is always that of mystery. Here it is, my writing, which I now read to all of you. And this is supposed to be a short video, and I just wanted to mention that this is why it is so important to raise the awareness, because no one right now has all the answers. Even in the messages from the founders, which is in the book of Salva Kelly, is said there that no one right now on this earth, no channeler, no one has the 100% correct history of human origin, of human life here, of life in general here on earth, how it was evolving and developing through multitudes of form and shapes. So anyway, guys, I would like to present this to you because that is why I'm so guided to speak about raising our own awareness, because you can have all the data, all, you can, beings can communicate to us, but you also understand even those beings, if they're not yet residing within the law of one, which is non-locality and non-physicality, they still use their own filters. So, these are filters meaning filters, and new filters are being created through that. So raising our awareness as high as possible, connecting to the source of all life within all that is, thinking outside the box, expanding our feeling, not just saying, people say it's HARP, so it's HARP, or saying, this guy believes in this theory. He said he's been contacted with higher beings from other dimensions. He's been, undergoing these DNA shifting processes, so he must have all the answers. No, he does not, or she does not, or whoever it is. They do not. You do. But you have a piece of it, and all these pieces are being glued together right now. But the collective awareness will always be connected with that. There will be as much knowledge and wisdom on this plane as our collective awareness allows it to be. That's why it is so important to shift from within to the out and to embrace all life, all that is, in multitudes of variation. And before I leave, I would also like to read this article. This part of the article. It's not an article. It's Dolores Cannon's book. I was reading it outside in nature today. When this woman channels something, she's in trance speaking to Dolores, and she says something that really resonates with me. And this is why it is so important to expand, to truly expand, because of this simple truth. Seems like God, the force, the generating power plant of all that is, known by many names, but we'll just call that force God for now, is also curiosity. Curiosity is an incredible force. So when you take the most powerful force that is and use just part of it, that curiosity is capable of manifesting in physical form anything that the force puts its attention on. So therefore you have a myriad of life forms because the God force is a very curious force. And the fact of thought of all, thinking of anything takes it to manifestation. The thought creates, and we are one of many, 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 many thoughts. It is really as simple as that. And we're remembering ourselves as we truly are. Take care, my beloved Ascension pioneers. Keep deciphering, but also through discernment. Okay, take care. Lots of love. Bye.